We all love some good old action that gets our adrenaline rushing, so today I'm going to tell you about 10 new underrated action anime shows with epic fights you should be watching right now. Let's go! Number 10, Dead Mount Death Play.
軽々しく命に触れるな。命は全部。僕のおもちゃだ。
From the title alone, you know this anime isn't going to go through the wholesome route. This is about a hero who is about to defeat a necromancer, but at the last moment, the guy pulls an Uno reverse card and casts reincarnation magic. Now our hero is turned into Polka Shinoyama, a boy who needs to start everything from scratch.
僕はやっぱりお礼を言うよ。ありがとう。こんなにも魔力に満ちた場所に連れてきてくれて。
This is a show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but maintains the tension with some nice action scenes. Sometimes the action feels a little over the top, but come on, that's all for the good, right? It's time we had some nice adrenaline rush with the action. Dead Mount Death Play also got a part 2 recently, so if you need a good action anime to binge watch, here you go. Number 9, Buddy Daddies.
動くな! 今のは何だ? こいつがガキなわけあるか!
Now, if this wasn't a rank based on action, then this would definitely be very high on the list. I've even added this for my best anime of 2023 list because it's that good. If you want action, then this is all about 2 mafia members. If you need some slice of life with your action, then this is all about 2 mafia members trying to protect a kid.
違う! 俺がお前のパパだ!
Buddy Daddies aired at the perfect time. Spy Family fans and Mafia fans can hold hands and sit at a watch party just to binge this show. It's got the fast-paced gunfights, the regular tension-filled Mafia plotline, and most of all, some nice and cute slice-of-life moments about 2 Mafia assassins struggling to take care of a young girl. Number 8, I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world to fight.
だから俺たちでお仕置きしてやんねえとな!
What would happen if you sent your regular overpowered anime overlord to a high school? Guess what happens? And everything you guessed happens in this anime. And unlike most fantasy anime, this happens in a fantasy land that is about a guy who travels to a fantasy land, gathers all loot, levels up, then comes back to high school to show off his loot.
行くわよ。はあ。やるねあんた。じゃあこれは。
From the first episode itself, you can see this is pure wish fulfillment. You've got the overpowered main character kicking ass even before the bullies could be introduced as proper bullies, but who cares? Sometimes we need some wish fulfillment. If you're in for some fast-paced action, a badass MC, and at least 5 different kinds of flexes in one episode, then this is the show for you, but don't go expecting some serious level fantasy plot though. Number 7, Ishura.
取ったぞおめえの武器。
This time, the Demon King is dead. Get it? So this is like the epilogue of an epic fantasy story. So what's the challenge? Well, the heroes who defeated him should figure out who the one true hero is. So think of this as a battle royale. And you know what that means. Fight after fight after fight. Okay, maybe not so many fights, but at least you get the point.
アルスより耳がついて我がわけしたたる貫け
Apart from the unique premise, we've got some nice cast of characters here. One of them is a master fencer, another is a lancer, and we've even got a wyvern and a rogue. From their looks alone, I can see this is a bunch of interesting personalities thrown together. It's rare to get an anime with so much action and interesting characters at the same time, so I bet this is gonna be great. Number 6, Mashle Magic and Muscles.
は誰だ。ナルコブボスデアコルス。
Brings fists to a magic fight. Well, this guy does. So this is like throwing John Cena into Harry Potter so he can go face punching Voldemort. This is a world where magic is casually used by everyone, so what happens when Mash Bernadette can't use magic? He aims to rise up the ranks with his fists while your average wizard practices magic. Mash decides to do 100 push-ups every day. How's that for motivation?
それに喧嘩売ってんの？それ国に立てつくも同然だけど、大体この服どうしてくるんだチミ？はい。
But his ideals are truly tested when he's thrown into a magic school, and he must rise in ranks among talented magicians with nothing but his fists. Apart from the action, this combines comedy really well. I mean, all kinds of fun things happen when you enter a magic fight with nothing but your fists. So if you need a fantasy anime with great action and comedy, then here you go. Number 5, Shangri-La Frontier.
おっとこれは食らったら死ねるな。
Next time you see the main character wearing the mask of a bird, remember the anime is going to be great in action. Seriously, when I started off Shangri-La Frontier, I thought it was going to be another generic fantasy anime, but man, it surprised me with both the story and the action. This is about Rakuro Hizutome, a guy who thinks the new MMORPG called Shangri-La Frontier is a crap game, but gets surprised when he actually visits it.
このスキル微妙だな。
What really keeps this anime going strong is the characters and the action. The characters feel more natural than a lot of fantasy characters nowadays, and the action is on a whole new level. It's not the good old gory action you see in a fantasy anime, but something that balances the in-game aspects while giving us some cool fight scenes. Number 4, The Witch and the Beast.
見つけたぜ。それまとげ。あなた。
Who knew the strangest duo of this season was going to be a guy carrying a coffin and a girl with eyes of a beast? But what do they have in common? They're searching for a witch, because witches are bad and these people have some history with them. But rather than a regular cat and mouse game, this has some great action thrown in.
あら、引き締めろ。一発だ。
You can tell from the art style alone, this isn't going to be a wholesome anime. The entire direction of this anime screams grimdark like nothing else. And this is also done by a new studio called Yokohama Animation Lab. And they have only a few anime in their belt. But don't let that stop you. The characters are epic, the setting is epic, and most of all, the fights are epic. Number 3, Blue Eye Samurai. Now, people here are going to argue whether or not this is anime, but hey, I call this an anime, so let's get on with it. This is about a young warrior taking revenge on the people who made her an outcast. This happens in Edo period Japan, and it has samurai in the title, so you can pretty much guess who we meet.
A poor technique.
This show is pretty much proof that Netflix could do a lot of things right if they actually put their mind to it. If you've been watching anime for a couple of years, then you'll either think this animation is unique or throw up at the sight of it. Whichever you do, don't stop because of the animation, because this has a nice revenge story and some memorable characters bundled with it. Number 2, Fake Strange Fake.
子供の頃の君がシャムハトの言う通りの子なら、それでも生きる道を選んでいたと思うよ。ウルクの民のためにね。
You know an action anime list won't be complete without a Fate series. The sad news is that this has only one episode since it's special, but the good news is how we get to see everyone's favorite servant, Gilgamesh. Come on, you know any Fate anime is great when you have this guy.
私が貴様のマスター。
なんだ貴様は道家か。
The story seems to happen after the end of the Fifth Grail War, and a lot of people died after they were killed. And for the first time in human history, we have a Holy Grail War happening in the US. But don't expect Gilgamesh to speak English though. I know this series is short, I mean very short, but if you love the good old Fate action and some familiar faces making an appearance, give this one a go. Number 1, Undead Unluck.
俺とあいつと出会ったのが運の土だ。いいね、最高だ。
Remember how I said Buddy Daddies were the greatest duo? Well, then these two pretty much come close, because there's nothing more wholesome than an unlucky girl and a muscular guy who can't be killed. Yes, that's right, this is about an unlucky girl named Fuko and an undead guy called Andy. And Andy wants nothing but good death, while Fuko wants a passionate romance like the one in her shoujo manga.
直接触れなきゃなんだろ。え？
If I need to define Undead Unluck with one word, that's crazy. This show doesn't even take a breathing moment and throws crazy stuff at the duo one after the other. I mean, a guy who cannot die opens all sorts of possibilities, right? And to add all of that, we've got a secret organization chasing after the two. If you need an underrated action anime where an undead guy kicks ass, here you go.